You are watching the Midtable Up Podcast highlights. Please put your foot through that like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, as well as Spotify and the Podcasts app.
Simon, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so my number 7 is from that same squad again, but not one of the players we've mentioned so far. My number 7, Steven Nzonzi.
That's also my number 7, so yes.
Oh, great minds.
I know.
But bear in mind, we don't discuss these lists at all, so this is a complete fluke.
Yeah,
that's happened.
We come into these lists completely blind with what each other have come up with.
So Steven Nzonzi is my number 7, and his career is so... I just want to say average. Average is the only word you can look to describe it.
It is average, when you kind of think that, he's obviously won Europa Leagues with Sevilla and stuff like that. I just remember him playing for Stoke, and honestly... Yeah, if you'd have said to me while he was at Stoke that this guy's going to win a World Cup in 2018, I'd have laughed at you. He was never bad for Stoke. He was probably quite an important player for them. But, yeah, I would watch him.
Small pond springs to mind with that discussion.
Yeah,
he was a good
I
player
completely
in what
agree.
was a pretty average Stoke side. And
yeah, completely. Playing Tony Pulis football.
That French midfield is blessed with talent like Pogba, Tolisso, Kante, Matuidi. Like, you can list off loads of them. And he played in the final. I looked it up. He played 50 minutes in the final and got booked. That was his contribution to that final, was to come off the bench, get booked, and thanks.
Oh, you got to do what you got to do to get over the line, mate. You got to do what you got to do to get over the line, haven't you?
But, he spent the last 2 seasons, bear in mind the World Cup was 2 years ago, on loan at Galatasaray and on loan at Rennes. Like, his career was on the decline before going into that tournament. And you do kind of wonder... How did he really get in? We've talked about players who didn't make that French squad. And I know you've got to think about balance, and Martial obviously isn't a midfielder, nor is Benzema. But they had so many midfielders that they probably could have risked taking another attacking player and not taken Steven Nzonzi, because realistically they were never going to need him.
No, I completely agree with you, to be honest. And yeah, as I said, average for me. I think... Yeah. Certainly not a bad player, but yeah.
When you spend your kind of peak years at Stoke and Blackburn, you do kind of go, yeah, okay, fine, sure,
yeah,
yeah.
That's
no,
fine.
Completely. And even then, even while he was at Stoke, because obviously you did say big fish, small pond earlier, which I do agree with to a certain extent. But even then, I was never kind of blown away with him. At Stoke, I always so even then I wasn't sitting there going, like kind of how when Clint Dempsey played for Fulham and he scored 20 goals a season, like that seriously impressed me for a player, to score 20 goals a season playing for Fulham. The same kind of thing when you get like Yakubu scoring 15 goals a season for Blackburn. That those kind of things really impressed me. Scotty Parker winning, the Writers' Player of the Year at West Ham. I know loads of people always make jokes about that, but, he was immense for us that year. But, yeah, Steven Nzonzi, whenever I used to watch Stoke, at least on Match of the Day, because, unless they were, on Super Sunday, I'd probably skip it unless they were playing someone big. But when, Tony Pulis football, I'm not putting myself through that.
No one's blaming you here, George. It's just a safe space.
But, yeah. But yeah, whenever I'd watch Stoke City, I'd always feel like I don't know. I always feel like that Steven Nzonzi would give you maybe a 9 or a 10 out of 10 once in a blue moon, and then outside of that, I'd be like, well, I wouldn't even have known he was there if you hadn't have told me that he was playing.
Well, I sort of remember when he moved on and he went to Sevilla. I'm kind of thinking, did he deserve?
How has he done that?
Yeah.
How has he done that? That was my exact same reaction.
He's a good player. He's fine. I was reading through and his career at Stoke, and he basically requested transfer windows in 2 of the last three seasons before he left. He just kept going, I want to leave, I want to leave, I want to leave.
Have you been to Stoke? You would want to leave.
He did. Yeah. In the end, I think it was Mark Hughes who sold him. So, but yeah, he certainly shouldn't have won a World Cup. Let's be realistic. He's not.
Yeah, no, I
completely
agree. I completely agree. As I said, my number 7 as well, Steven Nzonzi. So yeah, I think that's the final whistle. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Midtable and Up podcast. If you enjoy our top 10 lists, please make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Let us know what you would have done differently. If you watch this episode on YouTube, make sure to put your foot through that subscribe button and leave a like on the video, as well as follow us on Spotify, the podcast app, to keep up to date with the series. Thank you very much. See you next time.